This is a production of Lehigh Valley PBS.
Scholastic Scrimmage is the recipient of the 2001 Excellence in Education Award. Scholastic Scrimmage is underwritten by
Air Products and Chemicals Incorporated, supporting education, culture and the arts, volunteerism, human services, and civic programs. Air Products, a global company with a local commitment.
Lafayette has broken away from the pack, and its national reputation has begun to truly represent the college's uniqueness in the academic world.
The series is a partnership of participating school districts and Lehigh Valley PBS. Lehigh Valley PBS presents Scholastic Scrimmage, a weekly program featuring teams from Lehigh Valley high schools in a contest of quick recall. Your host for Scholastic Scrimmage is Dr. Karen Walton, Provost, DeSales University.
Welcome to the 28th year of Scholastic Scrimmage. I'm delighted to be your host. The area's top high school scholars from 31 schools compete for the honor of being the Scholastic Scrimmage champion team. At the end of the season, the Air Products Foundation will present a $4,000 scholarship award to the championship high school and a $2,000 scholarship award to the runner-up. Let's meet the teams. From Central Catholic High School of Reading, Alex Lloyd, a junior, Kelly Weber, a senior, Captain Dan McGee, a senior, Steve Frank, a senior, and their coach, Barry Parney, English teacher. From William Allen High School, a team of all seniors, Joe Mahoney, Brian Fulweiler, the captain, Kristen Gilbert, Laura Lithgow, and their coach, Stephen Patterson, English teacher. The judges for tonight's contest are Shirley Billheimer and Barbara Cohenauer, the producers of Scholastic Scrimmage. Remember that the questions on Scholastic Scrimmage demand rapid recall of factual information and are not necessarily indicative of academic training. We understand the rules, so let's begin the contest with a toss-up vocabulary multiple choice. If you feel sated, how do you feel? Very thirsty, drunk, full, or parched? William Allen Bryan.
C, full.
You feel full, and for your bonus, this is a two-part bonus question. What part of speech is the word sated? Brian?
Adjective.
And then for your second part, spell sated. No correcting yourself once you begin.
Quickly.
Brian?
S-A-T-I-E-D.
No, it's S-A-T-E-D. Sated, S-A-T-E-D. Next toss-up is in U.S. geography. Name the Canadian province that borders Maine on the east. Central Catholic, Dan.
New Brunswick.
And for your bonus, name the Canadian province that borders Maine on the northwest. Dan.
Quebec.
It is Quebec. Toss-up in chemistry, multiple choice. When zinc is oxidized by hydrochloric acid, bubbles form. What gas constitutes these bubbles? Is it William Allen Bryan?
Hydrogen.
You did not need the choices. And for your bonus, for 5 points each, answer the following two questions about reduction-oxidation reactions. In the reaction shown on the monitor, what element is reduced? I'll read it for you. You have Fe as a solid plus CuSO4, aqueous, yields FeSO4, aqueous, plus Cu, solid.
Iron is reduced.
Copper is reduced. Let's try the same reaction. What is the reducing agent?
I'd say iron.
Brian?
Iron.
Iron is correct, so you do get 5 out of a possible 10 points for that bonus. Next toss-up is in algebra. Find the discriminant of the quadratic equation on the monitor, which is x squared minus 2x is equal to 4. William Allen Kristen?
1.
Rebounds to Central Catholic? Alex,
-4.
it is 20. Put it in standard form and look for b squared minus 4ac. It is 20. Let's try a toss-up in grammar. A verb form uses an adjective is called what? William Allen Bryan. Must answer immediately. It goes over to Central Catholic. Dan.
An infinitive.
It is a participle. Let's try a toss-up in U.S. history. During the Civil War, Union General Sherman burned a state capitol and then destroyed a 60-mile wide path from that capital to the sea. In which southern state? Central Catholic, Dan.
Georgia.
It was in Georgia, and for your bonus, George Washington Carver greatly improved life in the post-Civil War South through his agricultural research at Tuskegee Institute. In what state is Tuskegee Institute located? Dan.
Alabama.
For 10 points. Toss up in biology, multiple choice. The phenomenon of plants growing toward light is called A, photodirection, B, geotropism, C, phototropism, D, heliodirection. William Allen, Kristen?
C, phototropism.
Absolutely, and your bonus. What is the name of the plant hormone responsible for cell elongation in plants, which allows them to bend toward the light? Brian?
No answer.
Auxin. Toss up. Probability statistics. What is the probability of the occurrence of two mutually exclusive events? It's 0. If they're mutually exclusive, they both can't happen at the same time. So it's 0. No paper and pencil needed for that one. Toss up in art. The patrician with busts of his ancestors shown on the monitor is a typical example of the art from what period? William Allen Bryan?
Classical Roman.
Yes, it is. Good for you, and your bonus multiple choice. What is the proper term to describe this marble sculpture? Is it carving, casting, or modeling? Brian?
Modeling.
It is carving. Let's try a toss-up in British literature. What major character in a novel deserted a boat that didn't sink? William Allen Bryan?
William Bligh.
It goes over to Central Catholic. Dan?
Robinson Crusoe.
Lord Jim is the correct answer. Let's try a toss-up in world history. Name the Frenchman who epitomized the Enlightenment. Central Catholic, Dan?
Voltaire.
Excuse me?
Voltaire.
Is correct. And your bonus, for 5 points each, are the following statements about Voltaire true or false? He wrote a book popularizing the ideas of Newton and Locke. Dan.
True.
Yes. Second, he felt that the government should have control over what was written in the newspapers. Dan.
False.
You are correct. Next toss-up is in chemistry, and it's multiple choice. How many calories of energy must be absorbed by 1 gram of water to make its temperature rise by 1 degree Celsius? Is it 1? William Allen High School, Joe?
1.
It is 1. Very quick. Your bonus, for 5 points each, answer the following 2 questions about thermodynamics. You want paper and pencil for this. If it takes 100 calories of energy to raise the temperature of a sample of water from 25 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, how many calories would it require to raise the temperature of that same sample from 50 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius?
200.
Brian?
200.
Good for you. And your second part, if it takes 100 calories of energy to raise the temperature of a sample of water from 25 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, what is the mass of the water sample? Brian?
4 grams.
For a total of 10-point bonus. Next toss-up is in geometry. Consider the graph of the parabola f of x is equal to x squared. What is the equation of the graph if f of x is equal to x squared is reflected about the x-axis? William Allen Joe?
F of x equals negative x squared.
Absolutely. Your bonus. What is the equation if the graph of f of x is equal to x squared is shifted horizontally to the left 2 units?
Plus 2. X squared plus 2.
Brian?
F of x equals x squared plus 2.
No, you have the right idea. It's x plus 2 quantity squared. Close, but no points. Toss-up in current events. An international sports event will be held in the United States in February. Name the event.
The Olympics.
William Allen, Laura.
The Olympics.
I will take it over to Central Catholic and read the entire question. Dan.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
I will not accept that. I will read the entire question. You both knew the answers, but I have to have the answer to the question that I ask. An international sports event will be held in the United States in February. Name the event and its location, both the city and the state. So you gave the event and you gave the city and the state, but no one gave the combination, and we cannot split it. So very smart, but a little fast on the buzzers. Let's try a toss-up in world literature. According to the story of Noah, when the floodwaters receded, upon what mountains did the ark? William Allen Bryan?
Mount Ararat.
Absolutely. Too bad. Reading, Central Catholic of Reading. After the flood, God made a covenant with Noah that there should never again be a flood to destroy the earth. What sign of this covenant did God establish? Brian?
A rainbow.
Yes. Toss-up in world geography. You depart from Beirut and travel east. Arrange the countries on the monitor in the order that you will travel through them. Central Catholic, Dan?
Syria, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan.
That's correct, and here's your bonus. Starting at the English Channel and moving north, give the order in which you would find these 4 English cities. They are Birmingham, London, Southampton, York. Dan?
Southampton, London, Birmingham, York.
Good for you. 10 points. Tied. Toss-up. Algebra. What real number values of x satisfy the equation on the monitor, which is radical x minus 8 is equal to negative 3? William Allen Joe?
Empty set.
The empty set. There are none. You are correct. Bonus. Convert 82 base 10 to the corresponding numeral in base 4.
That's so much.
Brian?
No answer.
1102. 1 times 64 plus 1 times 16 plus 0 times 4 plus 2 times 1. It's halftime. The score at halftime is Central Catholic 80, William Allen 90. Close contest, 2 terrific teams. I love that. Let's go to Central Catholic and ask them to tell us something about their families, anything at all they'd like to tell us.
All right. My father owns a small engineering firm. My mother is a certified occupational therapist assistant. I have a sister in 10th grade at Central Catholic. I have 2 brothers in St. Catherine's of Siena Regional School.
Thank you. Kelly?
My dad is the director of compensation for Carpenter Technology. My mom is an elementary school guidance counselor. And my older sister teaches 9th grade English in Virginia.
Thank you. Dan?
My dad's a metallurgist at Carpenter Technology. And my mom is a stay-at-home mom. My sister is a sophomore at Central Catholic High School, and my brother's a 6th grader. Yeah, that's it. At St. Catherine of Siena Regional School.
Thank you, Dan. Steve?
My father's a metallurgist at Carpenter Technology. My mom's a cashier. I have an older sister in college, a younger sister in 9th grade at Central, and a younger brother in 7th grade at HGA.
Thank you. Let's go over to William Allen. Joe.
My mother is a homemaker. My father works at PPL, and my brother works at Intel.
And you attended one of the governor's schools this summer?
Yes, I went to the governor's school for teaching.
What do you think you want to teach?
Well, I went there more as an interest rather than as a profession.
I see. Good. Brian.
My father's a physician. My stepmother's a dietitian. My mother's a computer programmer at Mack Trucks. My sister attends Ursinus College in her junior year, and I still work at Shoemaker Law Offices.
But I thought you were also a DJ for the Muhlenberg station.
Of course, every Saturday afternoon from 12 until 2 on 91.7 FM, you can hear the Psychedelic Afternoon Classic Rock Show.
Many years ago, one of my sons did that, and it was, I think, at about 7:30 in the morning. So the only person who listened was
I'm trying
his
to get the 2 a.m. slot.
Yes,
I think that would be fun.
Very popular. Kristen.
My mother's an instructional assistant at for the Northwestern Lehigh School District. My father's a salesman for Keystone State Distributing, and my younger brother's an 8th grader at Trexler Middle School.
And you also attended a Pennsylvania Governor's School?
Yes, I went to the Governor's School for Health Care.
In Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
I had a very good time. It taught me a lot about the medical field in general, though not necessarily what I intend to pursue in college.
That's such a major medical center at Pitt, around Pitt, that it's a good place to explore your career possibilities. Thank you. Laura.
My father works for iDesigns. It's a company division of Marchon. And my mother works for IT Landis, which is, she works as an HVAC representative, and that's located in Telford.
And you are a linguist?
I am, yes. I speak 3 languages.
Terrific. 8 very talented young people here today. Let's continue. What 20th century poet is considered responsible for the development of imagism? Central Catholic, Dan.
Ezra Pound.
And for your bonus, Pound was one of several American writers whose works are sometimes in English, American, and world literature text. What American-born, Nobel Prize-winning Harvard graduate, who is known for poetry, plays, and literary criticism, became an English citizen in 1927? Dan?
T.S. Eliot.
For 10 points. Toss-up in geography. Chaco Canyon, Carlsbad Caverns, and Wheeler Peak can all be found in what state? Central Catholic, Dan?
Kentucky.
William Allen? Brian?
Tennessee.
New Mexico. Let's try a toss-up in physics. You might want paper and pencil for this one. A horizontal string pulls a block of wood across a rough surface at a constant velocity with a force of 20 newtons. If the coefficient of kinetic friction between the surfaces is 0.25, what is the force of friction between the block and the surface? Time is up. It's 20 newtons. Let's try a toss-up in math. I think you'll get this one. Paper and pencil. Be careful. 24 is to 16 as what number is to 256? The answer is 384. Simple equation in one variable. Let's try a toss-up in music, looking forward to a 15-point bonus. Pictured on the monitor is a photograph of 3 famous tenors. For 10 points, name them moving from left. William Allen, Laura.
Placido Domingo, Luciano Pavarotti, and Jose Carreras.
Good for you. Your pronunciation is wonderful. And for your bonus, for 5 points each, name the nationalities of each of the tenors. Let's start with Placido Domingo.
Okay. I think Spanish.
Brian?
Spanish.
Correct. Pavarotti?
Italian.
He's an Italian.
And
I guess Spanish again.
Brian?
He's a Spaniard.
for a total of 15 points. Toss-up in world literature. From Aristotle's Poetics, later classicists developed 3 structural principles for drama. What were these collectively called? The 3 unities. Let's try a toss-up in U.S. history. Allied with the U.S. during World War II, the man pictured on the monitor with his wife became the symbol of free China. He was a key ally of the U.S. during the Cold War. Name him. William Allen Bryan.
Chiang Kai-shek.
And for your bonus, name the country Chiang Kai-shek established on the island of Taiwan in 1949. Brian?
Nationalist China.
It is the Republic of China. I cannot accept your answer. Toss-up in chemistry, multiple choice. Which of the following is an example of a chemical change? First, frying an egg. B, melting solid iron to molten iron. C, pounding a piece of lead into a new shape. D.
A.
William Allen Bryan, A is correct. And for 5 points each, answer the following 2 questions about heating. According to kinetic molecular theory, what happens to the average speed of a gas molecule as it is heated?
Increases.
Brian?
Speed increases.
And also according to kinetic molecular theory, what happens to the rate of most reactions as the reaction mixture is heated?
Increase. Speed.
Brian?
It increases.
For a total of 10 points. Next toss-up is in mathematics. Trigonometry. In how many quadrants of the Cartesian coordinate system is the cosine function positive? William Allen Joe?
2.
And for your bonus, what trigonometric function is the product of tangent x and cosine x? This is a bonus, so only the captain can answer. Brian?
Sine.
Is correct. Toss-up in American literature. What American author is known for a collection of short stories entitled In Our Time? Central Catholic Dan.
Sherwood Anderson.
Goes over to William Allen. Brian.
Washington Irving.
It is Ernest Hemingway. Nick Adams. Toss-up in biology. Scurvy is a disease caused by a lack of vitamin C. A deficiency of vitamin D and calcium causes what disease? William Allen Bryan.
Osteoporosis.
I will not accept that. Central Catholic. Dan.
Bone deterioration.
Rickets. Next toss-up is in number theory, mathematics. Is 1 a prime number, a composite number, or neither? William Allen Joe?
Neither.
It is neither. And for your bonus, state the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Brian?
1 plus 0 equals 1.
No. Every positive integer greater than 1 can be represented as a product of primes in precisely one way, disregarding order. And hence, the reason we say 1 is not a prime number or composite. It is neither. Toss-up in world history. The European monarchs listed on the monitor were all ruling in the 18th century with the exception of one. Which one? Central Catholic Dan.
Elizabeth I.
Correct. And your bonus. Some artists are best known as court painters, the painters of royalty. Which painter from the list on the monitor was not a court painter? Copley, Rubens, Van Dyck, or Velázquez? Dan?
Velázquez.
It was Copley. Let's try a toss-up in physics. No paper and pencil. Which of Newton's laws states that for every force or action there is an equal and opposite force?
Third law of motion.
Third law is correct. A bonus. In a standing mechanical wave pattern, certain points remain at rest. What are those points called? Dan?
Sous-chef.
Not exactly. Stationary points are nodes. Let's try toss-up in British literature, multiple choice. Before the arrival of Anglo-Saxon tribes, the Celts and Romans occupied England. Look at the monitor and choose the correct root of Old or Anglo-Saxon English. Central Catholic Dan.
B, Germanic.
Correct. And your bonus, the English language has gone through major changes in its transition from Old English to Modern English. What do we call the language of Chaucer, which directly followed Old English? Dan?
Middle English.
Yes. World geography toss-up. Most Central American countries border both the Caribbean and the Pacific. Only one country borders just the Pacific. Name it. William Allen Joe?
Chile.
Goes over to Central. Dan?
El Salvador.
I cannot accept it. The judges will not. It was El Salvador. You knew it, but just a little too quick, so no one gets that. Toss-up in geometry, multiple choice. If two parallel lines are cut by a... Time is up. The final score is Central Catholic 130, William Allen 165. That was an excellent contest. I think in a few more minutes, Central Catholic, you could have been right up there with them. Thanks to all 8 of you. Thank you, Central Catholic, for being with us. We wish the seniors good luck in college and hope to see Alex again next year. William Allen, you'll be back for a second round in April when you'll meet Pius X High School, the winner of last week's contest. Please join us next week for a contest between Parkland High School and Palmerton High School. I'm Karen Walton. Thank you for being with us. Good night.
Scholastic Scrimmage is underwritten by
Air Products and Chemicals Incorporated, supporting education, culture and the arts, volunteerism, human services, and civic programs. Air Products, a global company with a local commitment.
Lafayette has broken away from the pack, and its national reputation has begun to truly represent the college's uniqueness in the academic world.